So I got this restream going on. Let's see if I could get all these. If somebody just texts us. All right, looks like we're live. All righty. Yes, you're on Custom Stream Live, managing here. Okay, great. All righty. Well, welcome live out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and beautiful Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk, hosted by Byron Jones and Victor Orocho, brought to you by the Sportscast. Today is June 30th. 2021. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to Sportscast on all your channels, YouTube, Periscope, iTunes. And I am proud to announce, we say it every week, please, please, please go to iTunes, look up the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. Please subscribe, leave us a rating. It'll help us out tremendously. You can hear some of the funny talk and some of our great guests and some great sports on your iPhone through the podcast. And I'm proud to have me and Byron. We feel like we're big time now. So you could also visit the sportscast.net. Follow us on Twitter. We're always discussing different items there on different sports at all times. Please check out our Sportscast. Also has an iOS app. Subscribe to that. We're streaming right now live on Facebook, and we're streaming live on YouTube. And on Periscope, but these are recorded, so you can go back and listen to different shows, especially our guests and people that come in and people that make comments. So please share this with your family. And we just have some Jersey boys having some fun, talking sports. I live in South Florida, so I like making fun of South Florida fans because they're a little fickle. And according to Byron, they're all Italian. They're fragile. So welcome to the show. And Byron, how we doing today? We got? I heard it's super hot out there.
Super hot. Wow. Let's see, 106.
What?
106.
Wow. No way. Yeah. It's not even hit 100 here in Florida.
The last 3 days have been in the hundreds. So
oh my God.
It's a little hot.
Well, everybody always tells me about how do you live down there? It's hot so much, and especially the ladies with the hair, and it's so humid. And I go, I don't know if you get used to it. Yeah, it's hot. I mean, I'm in suits. I don't have a problem, but I do remember when I was in Amboy in Jersey, it was hot. Like, especially Perth Amboy, we made friends with anybody who had a pool.
Pool? What was a pool in Perth Airport?
I found any friend who had a pool. We were looking for him. It was hot. It was so hot. It was sticky. I have no idea. So, anyways, I'm just saying 106. That's some crazy. All right. Well, look, we have a special guest host today. A dear friend. I'm just going to introduce him. Our guest host is Joe Capraro. He is the host of Sports Plus show on WXOJ in Springfield, Massachusetts, and wherever you can find it. When you say where we can find a podcast, you got to explain that a little bit to me, Joe.
Yeah, and we're on iTunes, Spotify, whatever.
Okay, I'm going to ask you that in a second. He was a college and high school umpire. I remember him when he was umpiring baseball, a basketball referee. I always wanted to do that. Football. Gennaro Philman is a basketball referee, Byron. Football and baseball coach for many, many years. And he comes from a sports family, but I call it a football family because his dad, and we're dedicating our show next week to Dr. Vincent Capraro, who's my head coach at Uppsala College. He comes from a football family. He's out of Woodbridge, New Jersey, Middlesex County. He now
Woodbridge.
He now lives in Portland, Oregon, which I didn't know that. And he is a freelance web designer. So if you need some web designer services, Joe, we'll talk a little bit about that. So Joe, welcome to the show, and thank you for joining. I know you're on for a little bit, so we're going to get with you a little on some of the topics, number one. And number two, again, I apologize for last week with just the flights and everything. I couldn't make it, and I couldn't have the show, which was terrible. This week, because I was away in Orlando, no excuses Byron will throw at me, but I want to start planning tomorrow so I can get more like Kevin O'Callahan. A lot of these guys, I didn't want to do it at 4:00. So next week we're going to do it, and it's going to be dedicated to your dad. Hopefully you got more time. So explain a little bit like WXOJ. Is that the name of the podcast? How did he find
that's-
you? Help me out
That's
here.
that's a radio station in Springfield. It's a like a community radio station, and I did a show with the guy, one of the original hosts of that show, Daryl Clark, and I did a show 5 years ago when I was at UMass.
Mhm.
So they invited me on last year because with the COVID situation, there weren't all of a sudden there weren't any sports to talk about, and they had run out of things to talk about. Well, as you know, Vic, I am never short of things to talk about, right? So they brought me on. I thought just as a guest, and the next week they expected me to come back on. I didn't realize it, but they just kept inviting me back till I became the third host of the show. So
That's
we
awesome.
do a live show, semi-live. We record Saturday morning, and then it airs an hour later, and then I put it up as a podcast later on. And
Okay, so what
like-
time can they watch it live?
we're on at 11 o'clock Eastern, and you can listen at valleyfreeradio.org.
Okay, valleyreefradio.org. And what's the podcast name?
And the podcast is called The Sports Plus Show, which we may need to find something a little more distinctive, but right now you can search for that and find us just about everywhere.
It don't matter, man. As long as they come and listen to you, that's cool. And then, real quick, you're a freelance web designer, and you live in Portland, Oregon. How long you been in Oregon? I love Oregon.
I've been out there about 3 years, but actually I'm the only one that's in New Jersey among the three of us. I'm still out here, for all the family stuff, but I'm glad I'm here and not out there because it was 115 degrees 3 days in a row.
Ooh.
And in Portland and Seattle too was up over 100, 110, and out there on the West Coast nobody has air conditioning. It's not Miami, it's not even Philadelphia, it's not even New
Yep.
Jersey. Everybody's got air conditioning here, but out there, I mean, people were really suffering, and that's 115 with humidity. That's dangerous. That's dangerous heat. So again, I'm grateful I was in New Jersey for these couple of weeks. Don't
That's
say
funny.
that.
I was in Oregon, and I did actually, was I in Oregon? I think so. Or that, or no, I was in Colorado. I didn't notice that. It just was cold when I was there, so I couldn't really tell.
I mean, that's 15 degrees hotter than it's been since I've been out there. I mean, it's pretty extraordinary. I don't know. My neighbors over here are hammering something, so I don't know if that's coming across.
We can't hear. No, we can't hear it.
Good.
I'm good. Byron, can you hear it? No. And then you're a freelance web designer. So what do you just design websites? What's your specialty there?
Yeah, I've been doing all sorts of, again, during
Give me
COVID, you
some
sort of
free promo.
string together what you can. But yeah, websites, logos. I do a little bit of IT consulting. If anybody needs any of that, go to wildwestmultimedia.com. You can find all my stuff there and links to hire me. Please hire me.
Text that to me, and we'll put it on the links of our show, so I can look at it. And I got some. I'm always looking for something. You like my cup? Oh, can you see it? You can't see it. There you go.
Oh, nice. That's beautiful.
Just Boy Sports.
I
Yeah.
like that.
This was designed by what's the name of the company, Byron?
I don't remember. My niece is whatever it's called. I don't know. Monique something, whatever it is.
Great promo, Uncle.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, and we got the Panthers on the back, and he's got the Giants on the back. So
sweet.
that's good. All right, let's get into the show. So, Joe, I just want to introduce you and give you some of that promo. And again, my condolences with your dad. And next week we're gonna I really kick at that show. It's nice to get some feedback from some people. So,
Just so you know, Tony Cash lives in Portland too.
Oh, nice.
oh man, you got to meet up with him. He's pretty good.
He's special. That's when the guy in the military with.
Yeah, you got to get him on your show. You just got to make
boy.
sure he's been good. He's been censored for at least 99% of the time.
Well, I gotta say, you guys were missed. It was really cool. I mean, there were probably 30 or 40 Upsala guys from the Upsala crew there.
Did you let him know what happened to me?
Oh yeah, everybody knew. A lot of the guys already knew by the time we all got there. But
I'll tell you that story next week. It was a night. It was like Chevy Chase vacation.
I mean, that was heroic what you tried to do with the phone in the van, and it worked for a little while. But
yeah.
Then he
yeah.
I didn't. I don't surrender, right? So, all right, let's get into this here because I know Joe's got, he's got limited some time on today's show. So, welcome again. Hey, I just want to send out some condolences to a very good friend of mine, Eddie Valdez, and his brother Bert Valdez. They just lost their dad. right by they also lost their dad by Father's Day, and that happened like this. That just the Valdez families had a really challenging year. They lost their son that I coach at 23. They lost a nephew or a niece, and it's just, God's testing them. So hopefully they can get them through this time. So my condolences out to their sports fan. I coach their kids in AAU, and I just want to send our condolences. Byron, man, I feel like I'm old every week. We got someone we're sending out condolences to.
Yeah, you are old.
Okay, thanks. I thought that was
Merciless.
I thought that was a we thing. Yeah, I can't. He's my boy. He's not my boy. He's a flip flopper. I can't tell.
Flip-flop.
Yeah, that's all right. So as long as okay, so look, we're gonna get in real quick, and we're gonna talk. We usually start off, Joe, with the Giants. We're all Giant fans. Are you a Giant fan, by the way?
No, I'm sadly a Jet fan, which
All right, yeah.
Hey,
Byron, we got
finally
someone.
got a Jet fan.
Finally, somebody with the Canuckies to get on our show. That's a Jet fan.
you
don't
guys get to
understand.
feel superior to somebody for a change. So
Well, we feel superior to everybody. But anyways, but for the Jet fans, the fact they hired Adam Gase, everybody's superior. So we got some. I'm so glad that you have the Canuckies to come on our show being a Jet fan.
and
Number
say it
one.
in public.
Number two, I just want to share with you that Byron and I have, we have a lot of friends that are Giant fans, but we have quite a few very, very, very passionate Jet fans.
Very passionate.
And they will hammer stuff on Facebook, but they will not come on our show.
Never
So-
have one.
I don't know if it's because they're uncomfortable. You know how that is, Joe, right? Uncomfortable coming on. They're scared that we're gonna do. We're a friendly kind of show, but we're gonna put you to the test, right? It's like me being a Yankee fan, put on a Boston fan. We're gonna argue, but I'm not gonna be nasty to them. But we're just not gonna. We're gonna agree to disagree. You with me?
Well,
Yeah.
and I'm not one of those Jet fans that thinks we're going to go 12-4 every year either. I mean, I like to think of myself as the realistic Jet fan that knew what Adam Gase was when they hired him and is grateful that he only lasted as long as he lasted. We'll see. There's a lot of semi-genuine optimism about about Saleh and the new setup and the new quarterback. Who knows? I mean,
Well,
you
I
gotta
think
give-
Saleh's a good coach. I think that
Yeah.
was a good hire. Right?
I think it's a good hire, but you never know how good hires don't always work out. So
All right, but we're gonna move off the Jets because it's a Giant. You start off on the Giants.
that didn't take long.
Yeah, that was real quick. I don't mess around, man. Byron knows that. And so, look, the first time I want to just say, hey, everybody was hating on me when Danny Dimes came in, whatever. They are retiring my boy's jersey. I should have wore it tonight. They are retiring Eli Manning's jersey, and I believe it's justified. He was a great representation of an organization. He just, the whole Manning family, but, he's just mild-mannered. Byron and I always talk about how some of the players would come and like yell at him, this and that. And he had just that mellow demeanor. He's got 2 Super Bowls, 2 MVPs. He beat Brady twice, beat the undefeated team. I didn't like Coughlin until he won. So, Manning was always my guy. I didn't like what they did to him. So I'm just wanting to bring that up. They're retiring his jersey. I am so happy about that. Byron, what you got to say about that?
Well, he deserved it. Getting the number retired. Great player, long time. But now we have to wait to see if he's going to get into the other thing, the Hall of Fame. Is he going to get in? Is he going to be like Jim Plunkett, who won 2 Super Bowls and 1 MVP and is never going to get in? Or Eli get in because he was a 500 quarterback? Yeah, got to be honest, 500. He's got the numbers, but still, I'm happy that he's getting in. But I want to see him get in the Hall of Fame too.
I think he'll get in. I just don't think he'll be first ballot.
Yeah. I mean, I think he deserves. You look at the list of guys who have won more than one. Plunkett sort of, you can make an argument that he should be in, but I think Plunkett didn't even kind of rule his team like Eli did. Eli was that team for so many years, and the asterisk that puts him over the top, in my opinion, is that he beat Brady twice in the Super Bowl. Like that's. You gotta give him multiple times credit for that.
And that gets under Brady's skin, thinking I could have had 9 instead of he beat me twice.
Imagine how insufferable Patriots fans would be if Brady had won 8 and Belichick had won 8 or 7.
Well,
Yeah.
let me tell you something. I am impressed by that comment from a Jet fan. So thank you very much. Number one. Number two, I never thought of it that from that perspective because I was just an Eli fan. I knew where he was, but I also say that Giants never had like superstar quarterbacks until Byron gave me a list of all these quarterbacks that played for them that I didn't even know about, but they were superstars somewhere else, right?
How much I love Eli right there. There you go. My Eli Manning book right there.
That's awesome.
There you
I'm surprised. But one thing that you made a comment was, and now I'm going to use that in my argument. It's true, right? You can't just to stick on this for a little bit. And Byron and I are going over like there's a whole bunch of stuff, but let me just focus on this. Great point that he beat Brady twice. Right. And Belichick. So it's not just Brady. It's unfair to just say he beat Brady. He beat the Patriots twice. Right. But he beat one of the best quarterbacks of our time. He also beat what's considered the best coach of all time. Right. So the fact that he beat them twice, and when he beat them in MVP style, does have to give him some credence. Right. Because you can't argue that they're the best combination. That was the best coach. That was one of the best quarterbacks. And then lose to a guy, regardless of what his stats is, when the day came that it was the most important, he played his greatest game when it counted, and we won.
And he has maybe the most memorable play in Super Bowl history. You think of the two pass plays my entire life that stand out the most are the Eli to Tyree and Doug Flutie to Gerald Phelan, which I still remember. 35 years later? However long ago.
How old were you? Like 5?
I mean, I was probably not yet 10. I don't know. I'll have to look that up, see when that happened.
Okay. You want to know where I was, Byron, which was terrible? I was in South Beach. I was single in a bar in Miami, right? And when that happened, the place went, oh my God. Thank God I was a Hurricane fan. It was terrible. I know exactly where I was when that play happened. I still can't believe it to this day.
Which one?
Is it 1980?
The Flutie pass, the Miami.
It was 1984, so I would have been 13. So I would have been 7th grade.
I was at the University of Tulsa.
No, it wasn't 1984.
It was 1984. Yeah, I would have thought it was earlier than that too, but
when he threw it to Phelan against Miami?
November 23rd, 1984.
There you go.
In the Orange Bowl, right in your neighborhood there.
So then I'm totally wrong because I didn't come down here to 93, so I have no idea where I was.
84, I was sitting in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
At 84, I was at Upsala.
You might have been at Upsala, yeah. That sounds about right.
I was playing at Upsala, yeah. Oh, shoot, that's funny. Oh, well, I got that one wrong. Well, anyhow, those are good points. I'm just, Byron and I, the reason why we're saying that, because now I'm going to use that, but then Byron and I have been doing a study of like they ranked all these quarterbacks, right? And Aaron, it took us to get to the 12th quarterback to be on the list of the dynamic duo. So Byron put together something that's awesome that we're going to recover in a little bit later. But I just wanted to mention about Eli. I'm happy for Eli. And then that's going to lay us into the next subject a little bit later. And then right now in reading, I don't know if I have the article, because I think I closed it down, but they have the Giants ranked number 2 as the sleeper team. It's got a lot of they made a lot of moves. You know I'm a believer until the fat lady sings. Byron's got them down low,
Who's got number 1? Who's number 1 sleeper thing?
Oh shoot, man.
It's gotta be
let me highlight
Buffalo
it.
A sleeper?
No, I don't think I can. They're legit Super Bowl team. Yeah, they're very good.
Let me see.
Who sucked?
Here it is.
Niners.
It says
when do they got to start with number 5?
They're praising all the okay, here he goes. Here that was good, Joe. Here are the teams that the Bleacher Report as top 5 sleeper teams. It's Pittsburgh Steelers 1, Giants 2, Cardinals 3, Raiders 4, and Bears 5.
Pittsburgh Steelers number 1.
Number 1. Joe just mentioned that though.
No, I just got to the article before you did. No special talent here, just fast Google.
Dude, they couldn't have seen that, right? You could have just let it go, right?
But I like seeing the Raiders on this list. I think I think the Cardinals are probably who I believe in most out of these 5, though.
Yeah.
Murray's good.
They're a
Kyler
little bit
Murray
on
is
offense.
good.
The defense is kind of.
Dude,
I don't trust the Bears. I believe in everybody on here except for the Bears.
Oh, we want the Bears to lose every game this year so we can get, because we got their first round pick.
That's why. Well, okay. The answer to that is yes. And 2, I don't think they're a sleeper team. I just think they're the Bears. They're going to do something and then flop. I do believe that. I do believe the Giants. I don't know if I can say they are the sleeper team, but I do. They have all the things that count. And if Danny Dimes doesn't turn that ball over,
What have I been saying?
He doesn't turn the ball over. If he does, we're getting a new quarterback. I'm sorry, Byron.
They did not address the offensive line. They're gonna roll the dice with the same guy, pretty much the same guy they had last year.
Yeah, but his problem was turnovers, and a line doesn't cause your turnovers.
Yes, they do. If you're sitting there back there next to you, you got somebody busting you in the back of your head.
Yeah, but his turnovers were just stupid plays, fumbles. I mean, just thing
a lot
he
of
did.
them were that when strip sack, when the guys on them, that they already got past Andrew Thomas or the other guy that was on the other side, or Will Hernandez. I can name the guys they come running up through all the time. You can just go to the film.
See?
He was
I'm going to research that, but I think they're a good sleeper team.
If they don't fix that offensive line, if they don't do the job, they're done.
You know what help? You know what helps the offensive line? Saquon Barkley coming back. That helps the offensive line. I think. I mean, they made some improvements. So they're gonna really. If Jones doesn't get it, it's his 3rd year, right?
Yep.
Yeah, if he doesn't get it done this year, then you got to look at somebody else. But I mean, it used to be that quarterbacks got 3 years to sit before they even had to play. Now, if you're a first round pick, you play your rookie year, and that's And so I think he hasn't had his chance to grow under somebody. I think they're moving in the right direction. And this is an unbiased observer too. I'm not running with blue blood here. I think they're likely to have a really good season. They're also, I could see him going 6-10 as well, because I don't know if Danny Dimes is the answer. We'll find out this year though.
All right, Byron, what's your number, Byron?
7. What did I say?
I think it's 6 or 7.
7-10.
7-10. I believe they're going to have they're going to have a winning season. I believe they're going to have a winning season. They'll be 10-7.
Did you get the list that I sent you?
Which one? Recently?
The line, where they're ranked, their offensive line.
When did you send it?
Last week.
No.
Yeah. They're ranked number 32, the Giants.
Out of 32.
32.
All right. So they only got space for improvement. That's how I look at it. They got room for
ever the optimist.
Exactly. All right. So look, Byron, I'm gonna skip. So while he's on, because we were talking about Joe's on, then we're gonna go back to that big spreadsheet that you have, so we can finish some of that. Yeah. But while Joe's on, let's go back. So we were talking about the sleeper teams. Okay. So here, I want to ask you this question. This was on the sports channels as well. All right. So. And I have all of them, I believe, but the top 5, the 11 quarterbacks with the most to prove in 2020. So I got the 5 of them, right? Here, let me just share my screen so you guys can see it. Okay, can you see that? Yeah. Okay, so these are they have 11. I'll get to the 11 if I have it.
Well, the first guy you don't have to worry about up there.
Yeah, I think we've acknowledged that he's terrible.
Yeah, he's
going to stay.
Right. He's sitting in Buffalo.
Terrible.
Okay, so what I don't understand is, here's my problem. I don't. Jared Goff ain't with the Rams, is he?
No, it was with Detroit.
Yeah,
exactly. So I don't know. This is recent. Why would they have that up?
You got 2020.
Oh shoot! Then I messed that. Screw it. How about let's put this in on Google then. I don't know why that came up then.
Well, I think Josh Allen too. I thought he proved himself last year.
Yeah,
that was my too.
He's getting ready to get paid. There you go.
Whoa, Russell Wilson. Huh?
No, but these are the rankings.
Okay, all right.
Right, top quarterbacks here. 11 most to proceed 2020.
There you go.
Here, ranking.
Nah, that's the rank for quarterback.
No, we can't go there. Okay, so let me go back. Let me stop this. So then this is worthless because that list was That's why I had a problem with the list. Like
Well,
this doesn't make any sense.
I'll
So
tell you
let's talk about it. Who are the
Yeah.
top 5 quarterbacks you think have something to prove?
Lamar Jackson,
Okay.
great,
But-
maybe the most talent in the league.
Well, let's list them first and then go across, right? So you got Lamar Jackson, Byron. Who do you got? All right, I'll go. Tannehill.
Stafford on a new team. Matthew
Stafford,
Okay.
Goff on a new team.
All right. Well, yeah, those guys. I just think that, like, okay. I mean, I don't agree with those two. Only reason because Tannehill is not in their league, and now they just added Julio Jones. They added a team that already made it to the conference finals. They got Henry. I mean, if he can't do it, with that team, I mean, something's wrong. So that's one. That's the reason I picked Tannehill.
How about Darnold?
Sam Darnold's got something to prove. So does the coach.
Yeah.
The coach. Who?
Matt Rule, head coach.
Yes. Who's Freeze? Remember who's the guy that took Free? Who was Freeze? He picked somebody. I thought it was. Oh no, it was Carson Wentz. Right? Isn't that Coach Freeze? Byron. Okay. Well, yeah, I think Carson Wentz has something to prove. Danny Dimes wasn't even in the top 5, and they moved. Danny Dimes got something to prove. Okay.
Yeah,
I think Sam Darnold's got something to prove. I don't think Baker Mayfield does. They had him on.
Yes, he does.
Why?
Why? He's loaded with all those receivers and the tight ends that he has.
He did pretty good last year. He took them
Yeah,
farther
but
than they've been.
You know how they won? They ran the ball. They got the 2 best running backs. They was it Chubb and the guy that used to play for Kansas City got in trouble. I can't think of his name. But they had the 2 best running backs probably in all football together. They ran the ball, play action, go deep. But if you try to put it on Baker's shoulders, I don't think he could do it.
Baker Mayfield is at the top of my overrated list for 2021. I saw enough of him in college. I didn't see anything then that made me think he was going to be great. He had some flashes his rookie year. Then his second year, he was pretty terrible. So I think, I think he's kind of where Danny Dimes is that he's got to have a huge year again and not make so many mistakes. I mean, he's just.
I take Baker Mayfield over Danny Dimes any day.
Nah,
you can have him.
You can have
him.
I'm just telling you, I would. I think Tua's got something to prove.
Yeah.
I
mean, all the young, even somebody like Justin Herbert, who was great. They all, I think, when you're in your second, third, fourth year, you always feel you got something to prove.
Well, the only reason I don't agree with Justin Herbert is because you got a good case for it, but I don't agree with Justin Herbert. These guys, I'm talking about the guys who really haven't done anything yet. They have to do something, and then they have to do something with what's been put around them, because Justin Herbert is better, has proved to be better than Tannehill. He's been proved to be better right off the bat than Tua. He's been proved to be better than, these guys, Danny Dimes. That's where I'm saying, I'm like, in other words, he came out lightning. He was also number 2 in the Heisman. So there was no confusion there. This guy's a player.
But he had 2 good receivers.
Damn, Byron, the quarterback gets no respect on your side. Either the guy
what did Danny Dimes do with no receivers?
Steve Petrosino.
Basically, you might as well say that receivers. Donald. I'm gonna bring up a case for Donald. What did he have to throw to?
Who? He had Adam Gase's offense.
No. I'm talking about that's why Adam Gates is not playing.
I'm just saying it doesn't matter.
I'm just saying the receivers that Sam Donald had were awful. They didn't help him at all, and you need receivers to win.
All right, I got hold on a second. I got a few comments. One of our regular listeners and my buddy from Manboy, Steven Petrosino, he put out Jets. They play football. And then one of my fraternity brothers was like, "Wow, there you go, a Jet fan." I mean, so you're very popular right now.
Am I the unicorn? Yeah.
And then my fraternity brother was on last week. He said Byron is right about Mayfield. Were you right? So is Joe. Joe was also right, John, about Mayfield. But Byron, when is what quarterback is getting credit on your side that doesn't have these position players?
You need receivers to win in the NFL. You need an offensive line. Somebody's got to block, so the quarterback can get the ball down the field. Period. End the conversation.
Bull crap. So you're saying, so I disagree with you. You're doing the same old crap that they do
Well,
in
okay.
South, in
No,
many
no, no, no,
teams.
no, no.
All the teams that guys lose and the teams that win, all they say is, well, if our quarterback was put on that team, we would win the Super Bowl. That doesn't happen. You got to have some credence into the quarterback. The quarterback controls the environment. The quarterback has to make the decision. The quarterback has to make the option and look at the reads. He's got to decide to change the play at the line.
So, Vic, do you think would the Buccaneers have won last year? Could they have won last year with any quarterback other than Brady?
No.
Oh my God. Oh my God. See, that team was ready to win. You could have plugged in 13 quarterbacks and they would have won the Super Bowl.
You had Winston.
So Jameis back there.
Yeah, Jameis back there.
Jameis was terrible.
He had 30 touchdowns. He had 5,000 yards passing.
But he's with 42 interceptions.
30. He was 30 for 30 like ESPN.
Oh my God.
Okay.
No, I mean they could have won with I could pick 12 quarterbacks.
Yeah, one, you're not gonna. One, you don't know that, and two, I disagree. I just disagree. I don't think so. I don't think they would have won.
But wasn't you that said like 5 minutes ago that quarterbacks don't win the Super Bowl? That teams win the Super Bowl.
You just said that.
I said what?
You said that quarterbacks don't win the Super Bowl. We were saying Brady, and I jumped on my hosts when they say it all the time. Brady won Super Bowl. No, Brady didn't win the Super Bowl. 47 guys. And
no, I didn't say that.
Coaches.
No. We could go back to the tape. I'm gonna go all Stephen A on you. Incorrect, because you both got bad memories. What I said, especially you, Byron. But I got Byron denies it until I bring back the recordio.
That's right.
So look, that's not what I said. What I said is Eli beat. I didn't want to say he beat Brady because it's unfair. When I said Eli beat the Patriots, Brady was on the team. He beat Belichick. Brady was on the team. I didn't say quarterbacks don't win Super Bowl. There's a huge difference between that comment and Super Bowls, and quarterbacks don't win Super Bowl.
So quarterbacks are part of the team. Quarterbacks are part of the team when they lose, but not when they win. When they win, they do it by themselves.
I didn't say that. I just said that Brady, that Eli, because we were saying Eli beat Brady, that was the conversation. If anything, then let's just change the narrative. The Giants beat them. I'll take that. But your argument was him getting into the Hall of Fame, right? So the debate was him getting in the Hall of Fame. You brought up a great point. Your point was that he beat Brady. I was like, well, there's some essence to the best quarterback and the best coach. But then I don't like to just say he beat Brady. He beat the Patriots, who had one of the best organizations for 10 years. So I didn't say he won it. He had Victor Cruz. He had all the other guys. But at the right time, he got out of a sack. At the right time, he threw the right play. At the right time, he made the right decision.
No. When he threw that pass, that receiver made the play.
I'll take it.
Chucked it right down the middle of the field.
Right.
Everybody was there, and it was the receiver that made the play.
Right.
Just like Manningham.
But he escaped the sack. He should have been sacked.
But he wasn't. And what did he do?
It's a combo.
He threw the ball right down the middle of the field.
I know he wasn't, but he still escaped it. And he had the mind to throw it to where he had to throw it. And the receiver made the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
The receiver made the play.
Yeah. And where's that receiver today? And what has he done? It's like Deion Branch, right? We had this receiver now. I can keep going back and forth. Deion Branch was MVP. He left to Seattle. He did Ungats. And he came back to the Patriots. He did Ungats. So you can't. You guys are like you're changing things. I didn't say quarterback.
11 guys made that play. It wasn't just Eli. It wasn't just Tyree. 11 guys made that play. So my next question for you, Vic, is that
no, that was Tyree and Eli.
Right. But how many teams could Brady have gone to last year and won the Super Bowl?
I don't know if that would have happened. I'm not saying if Brady would have went to any team, he would have won the Super Bowl. No doubt. I think that he not only selected the right team, he selected the right coach, which Byron now made me like. He made me like him. He not only that, players came to play with him. Right. He got Gronk. As soon as he said it, I was waiting for you to come back. Went there. Okay. Antonio Brown followed him for a super low pay cut. Okay. Lenny Fournette was cut by Jacksonville. They picked him up. And then that team had the most fun possible. Now, Byron will have his reasons why. That's the only team that's re-signed every single damn player and every single coach for a repeat performance in the history of the NFL. And that's not just because of Byron's pay scale. All of them are having Brady. They're saying Brady is a totally different individual today than he ever was. And he even made a statement on HBO thing. Is a lot of things I said while I was at the Patriots wasn't really everything I was thinking. But they had the Brady, they had the Patriot brainwashing piece, and that's it. That's all I'm saying. I don't think you put any other quarterback on that team. I don't believe they win the Super Bowl.
Are you telling me Tom Brady's about to develop a personality? Are we going to see that happen?
Did you not see him drink and throw the trophy?
Yeah, that's true.
I'd never seen him do that before in
all
public.
Right, answer me this. Okay.
Yeah.
The Tampa Bays were built to win. Like Joe said, they probably could put any other 12 or 13 competent quarterback back there, probably would have done the same thing. According to my list, they have a top 5 offensive line. They're number 1 receiver group, and they have a top 5 defense. They were built to win last year. They could have put any other quarterback, probably any top.
The brother went through Breeze. He went through. Where's Rodgers? He went. I mean, come on, man. They were a wild card team.
But Tampa Bay had better teams than Green Bay. And Seattle and all these teams they beat.
Defense.
Okay, I listen to me. I disagree that you can put. I disagree. And there ain't no fact. It's a fact. Brady won. The fact is Brady's in the Super Bowl and he won it. That is a fact. It isn't a fact.
Brady won.
Do you think they put Russell Wilson back there? Do you think he'd have won with the Tampa Bay Bucks?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, because Gronkowski would have gone there.
I'm just saying
I'm out. Gronkowski wouldn't have gone there, and Antonio Brown didn't go there. And I'm sorry, in the Super Bowl, there was 4 touchdowns. In the Super Bowl, there was 4 touchdowns. Who got 3 of them?
Oh, jeez. Are you listening?
Who, Joe? Who got 3 of them? 2 to Gronk, 1 to AB. Those players would not have been there.
No. What if they
in the last 5 games?
You act like if they you're talking like
last 6 games of the season, Antonio Brown caught 5 touchdown passes deep. That wouldn't have happened. You guys are taking a lot of things out. Those players came to play with Brady.
No. I'm doing the what if thing. What if
you put any other quarterback, you're not going to have the same talent there.
See, but you're not listening to the question. The question is, same players are there, and now the quarterback is Aaron Rodgers. Same guys are there.
No, that's a little different.
I think I buy what you're saying that he brought a couple.
You know how I feel about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the man.
I buy what you're saying that he brought a couple guys with him, and those guys made some key plays, especially in the Super Bowl. But you act like if
they made him in the last 6 games of the season.
But you act like if Gronkowski wasn't on the team, that there wouldn't have been anybody at tight end. That that this quarterback X would have been thrown to a blank spot on the field.
Okay, that's a great argument. Who has the most quarterback touchdowns combination in the history of the NFL?
We know the answer.
I mean, you want to keep going. You can keep thinking, but the point is, Byron, you like the facts. This is the facts. They're the number 1 combination of touchdowns from quarterback to receivers in the history of the NFL. And Gronk only played 9 years.
Yeah, but think about this. If he had to play last year and he got hurt, O.J. Howard he was on that team, Tampa Bay. He's the second string tight end on Tampa Bay. Cameron Brake, the other tight end. So even if they didn't have Gronkowski, they still had 2 other good ones. But you don't know that is the direction Brady would have went to. That's his comfort zone. It's no different than almost every quarterback has a receiver that is their comfort zone.
Okay,
right?
so let's.
I mean, Kelsey, you got a comfort zone in a particular receiver. Plexico with the Jets, with the Giants was a comfort zone with him. You have, every quarterback. Jason Witten was a comfort zone for their quarterback. I mean, you understand? There is a quarterback receiver combination that if when in doubt, I'm going to this guy.
But again, we're giving too much credit to those 2 guys. Brady didn't even have that great of a year. You look at his numbers over the course of the season. He did not have a fantastic regular season. I think.
What was his
So-
turnover to touchdown ratio?
I don't know off the top of my head, but it
was pretty good.
But it wasn't typical Brady numbers. I think the other thing is you let's say
He's
all right, let's
43.
say we don't know where Aaron Rodgers is, whether he's going to be a Packer next year. Let's say Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets. You think there's no one that's going to come along with Aaron Rodgers to the Jets? Well, maybe not to the Jets. Let's pick a real football team. Let's say Aaron Rodgers goes
exactly, and he did make see but would those additional players follow any? See, Pat was on the same side with me, man. He's like saying, look, with any of those other quarterbacks, who's going to follow him? Who's going to follow those guys? They did it.
You can't
think
can't
about
fight,
it. Gronk was out in retirement. He's
can't-
not going to go to a place that Brady doesn't ask him to come to.
I've given up trying to fight the Brady myth train. You can't fight it. It's going downhill. It's going to crush all of us.
All right, so let's just
Brady,
finish.
your God. Oh, Brady.
No.
Brady, oh, Brady.
That wasn't it. All I'm saying to you, your question started off with, do I think that if there was another quarterback at Tampa Bay that they still would have won the Super Bowl? And my answer was no.
Well, you're wrong. You're wrong.
You know what I'm getting ready to do right now? I'm taking your giant car from you, man. Going down there and be a Tampa Bay fan. Because
No, don't even that, Byron. Come on, Byron, man. You started the Giants. Even our listeners asked if you know. Do you know that our listeners asked if Byron, who does Byron like? He predicted them to go 0 for last year.
Byron's like me. He doesn't like anybody.
I don't like anybody.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, let's keep going on here. Okay, so we got the sleeper team, we got the quarterbacks. I have to bring that up. Joe, what do you want to bring up? Because I know you got to be leaving pretty soon. I mean, you're on. We got 15 minutes left for 20 minutes.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I can ride out the last 15 minutes. I come to every new football season with a sense of doom and a just a acknowledgement that I'm going to be disappointed. So I don't know. I've honestly, I can't remember the last time I looked forward. I mean, probably when they played in the championship game. What was that? 2011, 2010.
Who?
The Jets. It was probably the last time I had a good feeling at the end of a football season. And even then, I mean, that was Rex Ryan. That was like 7 coaches ago.
Yeah.
So it's tough. I sort of push football season off now until it comes, especially because I'm not coaching, so I don't have to prepare. Don't have a spring practice or summer practice to deal with. So I'm honestly still in basketball mode. I don't know if you guys want to talk any basketball, but man, these NBA playoffs have been unbelievable. And
Yeah.
I think everybody thought last year with the COVID that last year's playoffs would have the asterisk, but it seems to me it's this year because of all the injuries and the players who are out and the teams that are still in it. It's nice to have, Milwaukee and Atlanta and some of these teams that haven't been there in a while. The Clippers are still in it.
What Atlanta did last night was amazing.
Atlanta's gonna make the finals. They're gonna be this year's Miami.
They
out of
did it.
nowhere.
They did it at a trip without Trae Young.
Yeah. And I'm contractually obligated to hate Trae Young because he went to Oklahoma and I went to Texas for grad school. But man, he is one of the 5 most fun to watch players in the NBA. And anybody that can shoot from 35 feet is good to watch. But
and Damian Lillard and Steph Curry.
well, those of you tune into our show Saturday because we got a really special guest. We're going to talk a lot about this Lillard situation because he went from owning that city and having the full worship of everybody in that city to where if he gets traded this week, 3/4 of the fans are going to say good riddance because of the whole Billups and Becky Hammond situation. I mean,
What's going on there? Enlighten us there, because I know he wants to get out, but I'm not sure. I don't know what's up to date with that.
Well, I mean, it's no doubt they've been disappointing in the playoffs. The last, they made the conference finals 2 years ago, but since then they've been, he and McCollum are in their prime. They're 31 and 30, so it's kind of win now or nothing. And they got bounced in the first round this year. It was pretty disappointing, but. So they fired Terry Stotts, and then the coaching search was kind of a sham. At first, the 2 names out there were Jason Kidd and Chauncey Billups, and the 2 things, Jason Kidd is acknowledged to have hit his wife on multiple occasions, and Chauncey Billups was involved in a rape allegation that resulted in him settling a civil suit out of court. So, when you pay money to keep someone quiet, you assume that there's some responsibility there. And those were the only two names that came up. And then, so the Blazers owner is Jody Allen, who's Paul Allen's sister. She's not really a basketball person. She was bequeathed the team when he died 3 years ago. But when she got involved, she really pushed for Becky Hammon, who's been
for our listeners. Paul Allen was co-founder of Microsoft.
You're right. And owned the Blazers for years. And so she was pushing for Becky Hammon, who's been an assistant in San Antonio for 7 years and was a WNBA All-Star and a 2-time WNBA champion. And by all accounts is going to be a fantastic coach. And it seems like the last 2 or 3 years her name's been kicked around, but
she's going to get a job, I think, because there's a lot of vacancies.
This is the one she really should have gotten, though, because of all the cities in the country that are going to support her, Portland's one of the most progressive cities in the league. They've got a great loyal fan base, and if she had come on and gotten the endorsement of Lillard, it would have been pretty smooth sailing for at least a couple of years.
And they believe in medical remedies.
They do. Recreational remedies now.
Recreational remedies.
As does New Jersey now, but to close out the Becky Hammon situation, it was.
But I'm confused. Why is Portland so against Lillard? Is because he wanted those coaches and not Becky?
Because he was pushing for Billups, and when people mentioned,
I got it. I didn't know
people brought up this allegation, instead of owning it a little bit and say, look, I wasn't educated on what happened. I don't know, this is how I know Chauncey. This is what I know of him. His first reaction was, it happened when I was 7. How am I supposed to know? Well, by reading newspapers like the rest of us, So I think his response was not what a progressive city wanted to hear.
It's amazing that Jason Kidd left, because the whole situation with Lakers is that they were setting up the coach. They had a Kidd there to eventually take over if he didn't do what he was doing, and Kidd had left.
Well, and you look at the two guys there's a lot of openings in the NBA. Look at the first two to get hired. It's Jason Kidd and Chauncey Billups. So the same two with these problematic pasts. And the fact that Chauncey Billups with 1 year as an assistant can get hired, and Becky Hammon with 7 years under Popovich and 2 WNBA titles as a player can't get hired. That's what I think me and a lot of Portland fans have the problem with. And the level of enthusiasm I would have had for next season rooting for Portland if Becky Hammon was the coach is infinitely greater than what I'm going to have for Chauncey Billups.
Got it. Hey, sticking a little bit on basketball, Byron, if you're okay with that, is KD, right? So I don't know if you see the reactions of KD, one being injured and, building that team. And let me tell you something, both of us thought that team was going to implode, right? Because of who they were bringing. The person who impressed me the most, first of all, KD impressed me coming off Achilles heel and playing the way he did. Number one. Number two, Kyrie played out lights out. But I'll be honest, the person I thought that was the most important, the most effective on that team was Harden. I think Harden made the massive difference, number one. Number two, I don't know, Michael Rappaport and KD just don't like each other, the actor, because he just was – I don't know what's going on there, but he's like, hey, you're chasing rings. And, the one thing I just want to throw out there is I don't understand a guy like KD, right? He goes to a place where he's building 2 other superstars there. And in my opinion, these guys don't want to build dynasties. Why didn't he just stay at Golden State? I mean, you had now he didn't like Draymond, but that's life. Byron, I'm sure when you play, you don't like everybody on your team, but Draymond says it like it is. I mean, you want a player that's going to call you out, right? And if you see Golden State were impressive this year with nobody, and Seth Curry played out of his mind. If KD was still there, that would have been a different ballgame. They would have won another 2-3 more championships. I still understand these guys.
They all want to build a super team.
Well, that was a super team there.
Yeah, and look what happened.
But you talk about KD chasing titles. I think the titles are following him. I mean, doesn't that tell you something? I think I'm all for these guys that want to. But I love the off season when you don't know who's going where, and
What does that mean? Titles are chasing him.
The title goes where he goes. The
Really?
title follows him. He's not chasing the title. He's bringing it with him.
Really?
And I think, and he got.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that? The Golden State won a title without him, number one. And if Draymond wasn't an idiot, they would have won another title without him. Well, so I'm confused.
Well, and
he went to, and then he didn't do crap in Houston when they had Harden, him, and Westbrook that are all perennial Hall of Famers. Now he's at the Nets and didn't play a season, and then choked on the last play that they want to compare him to Jordan. Jordan wouldn't have missed that shot. And number one, and then number two, I don't understand why he took that shot. They always tell you when you're playing home, it's okay. Go for the damn tie. You're playing home. He would have scored 2 points with no problem.
The 3-pointer is such an easier shot now than it's ever been.
Not for KD.
What's he, a 38% 3-point shooter?
Yeah, and what's his percentage inside the arc? He had 7 feet tall.
The game,
and you only needed 2.
I think the game's changed so much that you only go for a tie. You go for a tie if you're the home team thing.
Nah.
I think the 3-pointer is a cheaper shot than it used to be.
I think he was covered. He shot an air ball. He played a lot of time. That was just that was him wanting to be a superstar in New York. Well, I'm glad it worked out the way it did.
I'm gonna get my co-host Matt to come on here because first of all he's a Giant fan, so he'll talk Giants with you guys all night. And also he goes on about this all the time. He hates the players moving around. But I'm glad you gave credit to Harden though, because he's the one that gets criticism for that. But Harden's the guy who changes his game to fit the team he's on. And I think to go back and look at Oklahoma City when they had Harden, Westbrook, and Durant, ask why they didn't win 5 titles. They were pretty badly coached, pretty badly mismanaged as a team, and they were all really young. I think none of those players were who they were, and you can't expect all of them to be in their first 3 years as mature and great players as they are in their 6th and 8th and 10th year.
No doubt. I'm just saying to you that that was a serious team at a young age. And number one, and look at how many kids are doing one and done out of the NBA, out of college, and they're becoming superstars. So it's not like, it hasn't happened. Now you got these guys, but let me go back to Harden, right? What gave me so much respect for Harden. Do you understand when Harden was at Houston, he had the most unassisted points in any player in NBA history. Unassisted, Byron. That means he would just dribble, take the shot.
Yeah, he had to. He was the only one who could
score. I'm sorry, go ahead. Byron, go ahead.
He was the only one that could shoot.
Yeah, but unassisted is crazy. Look at Seth Curry. That brother does stop. He's like a rabbit. He doesn't stop running.
Yeah, he pulls up from 40 feet too. He pulls up kind of deep too.
You're right, but he never stops running.
Yeah, he's constantly moving, but he takes long shots too.
But he doesn't take a lot of unassisted in the league, number one. So my point being is when he went to to Brooklyn, he was putting up double triples.
Yeah, but look at
double triples consistently. I mean, that blew me away. He was crushing the teams.
All 3 of them actually played together.
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Seven.
This one was hurt. This one was hurt. This one was hurt. This one sat out. It was crazy.
7
I'm just saying to you that he was right. I'm just saying to you that he was the most oppressive to me out of all 3, other than KD coming back from an Achilles heel and playing that great and that many points. I mean, you can't take that away from him. I'm just saying I wasn't expecting Harden to fill the stat sheet like he did and score points. By far, that guy could probably be the greatest point guard of all time. He's got to stay healthy, but man, and I wasn't a Harden fan. He blew me away, right?
There's a guy named Magic Johnson that was a great point guard too.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. He's okay. Maybe not the greatest of all time, but be the second because Magic's my man.
Great. Come on.
No, you're right. But in this era, right? This era, it's all selfishness, right? So
when Harden was with Houston, he had to be the scorer because they didn't have anybody else on that team that could score. And that was also, again,
That's not true. He had Chris Paul when Chris Paul came there. Who else was there? I could tell you he had Westbrook was there. I mean, I could keep giving you names. His stats were still the same. His
Westbrook was there for 38 seconds. Westbrook was with Houston. It seemed like
he was playing for a season. All I'm saying to you though is that he still took more unassisted shots than anybody else. I mean, he scored more unassisted points than anybody. Okay, well, yeah, whatever.
What's the point of the game of basketball? What's the object of the game?
Score points.
Okay.
And play defense.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Picture that, yeah.
Sure. Where on the scoreboard does it say D? Well, no, you're right.
Yes, it does, man.
It's
great because if you get offensive rebounds, that's not a defensive. That's an offensive stat, but that's because you're playing shitty ass defense. Number one. Number two, turnovers is defensive stat. Okay.
We can curse. We can curse on this show.
No. I messed up. Okay. I shouldn't have done that. But let's leave this with this one. So as we're starting to close up. Let me tell you something. That fourth quarter of the Clippers and Suns game, they scored 29 points combined in the fourth quarter, Byron, and it wasn't because of defense.
They're lousy shooters.
Both teams. It was so bad. And then my man, Paul George. Right now, the Clippers should be up 3-2.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean this could have been this might be the most epic Clippers disappointment in Clippers history, which is saying an awful lot.
Last year was no. Last year was. Last year being up 3-1 and losing with Kawhi, that's epic. Them winning is epic without Kawhi.
If they get bounced, I want to see Lillard for Kawhi straight up 1-for-1. Let's do it. Let's turn over both teams.
Lillard to be Kawhi to Portland.
The salaries match up. The talent matches up.
I want Kawhi. I want Kawhi in Miami.
Oh, everybody wants Kawhi.
Yeah, but you put him in Miami. But Miami's one of the deepest teams that they have so many players. I'm just saying it's the deepest team in the NBA. At any given time, their top 8-9 players can score.
Where they are? Where are they at now?
They're same place LeBron and KD's at.
If they can get him without giving up Adebayo and Butler,
I wouldn't give up Adebayo, and I wouldn't give up. Well, Butler. My problem with Butler is that, and I love Butler, but what I don't like about him is he's not decisive to take a quarter and realize that's it. I don't care about anybody. I'm scoring. I'm going to dominate this quarter. He just doesn't do it.
When James Harden does it for a whole season, that's not good. But you want to see Butler do it for a quarter.
He does it for 4. Wait a second. He does it for 4 quarters for the whole season. I mean, Jordan did it. Jordan didn't do it all game. Jordan once he's figured out, hey, you ain't doing this, you're done. I ain't passing the ball. I'm scoring. I mean, all the great players, Kawhi start doing it. I mean, you want me to go down the list? Right? Those great players know if Magic Johnson, you just Magic Johnson. Magic will diss it out. You ain't playing, I'm scoring. Larry Bird, you ain't playing, I'm scoring. They're going to dominate. And there will be always a quarter that they will destroy you. Always. Butler, you don't know which quarter it's going to be. And when he wants to do it, he does it. He's proven that he could do it. You just don't know when he's going to do it. And by the time sometimes he does it, it's so late. And then in the game that they lost, that got swept, they should have won that first game. That would have changed the whole game, the dynamics of the game. They swept Milwaukee last year. And to go into the first game and lose, that would have put a little fear in them. Butler shoots 23%. You love the 3, right, Joe? He shoots 23% from the 3. He shot 3 3-pointers at the end of the game. At 23%, when he's Jimmy Buckets inside the arc, that was just dumb. I'm not calling him dumb. I'm saying that was a dumb decision.
You love the what if game. That's great. I mean, that's what sports shows are all about.
How is it what if? If you shoot 23% from the 3 and it's a close game and you're up, why would you take those shots?
No, I just think it's funny that the Heat are so fragile after going to the finals last year that one playoff upset, one bad loss at the beginning of the playoffs, and that was it for them. I was disappointed. I wanted to see them make it.
So what's that?
They're a really fun team to watch. And you're right, they're deep. I don't know if they can get Leonard without giving up Butler, but you seem okay with that. So
You know, it's just tough because you kind of like I don't know. I'm just saying to you that I think that you're right. You're saying yes. I'm saying a what if. I'm just knowing that from my experience of playing that the mentality of a Bucks team, that pressure to get to where they needed to get to, would have could have changed their mindset, losing to a team in the first game at home when they got beat last year and got beat bad by them. I think mentally it could have shifted. Would the Heat won the series? Probably not. Okay. But it definitely changed the rest of the 3 games as they got whooped.
do you guys believe
Byron, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, do you believe in the Bucks this year, Byron? You think they're
No, they're done. But they're done. Giannis is hurt. It's over.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Stick a fork in it.
Yeah. Well, that's the worst thing about this season. I feel like the injuries have sort of been the determining factor in a lot of these series.
Byron, why do you think there's so many injuries? Because LeBron's complaining about it. Shaq is telling him to shut up. You're getting paid top dollar.
Yeah, they played, so it seemed like the season, like it never ended. The other one started, ended.
Oh, that's what he's complaining.
Right back up, and then you figure LeBron is what 30? What is he?
8
years old. And that's a lot. Even finally, he's a conditioned athlete. He's been doing this a long time, but it takes a toll on him.
I never thought about that. I thought it was. I never compiled them immediately finishing the season late and then going right into a regular season. I was just only thinking that the regular season was too long, right? And but some of these analysts were saying, listen to me, you can say all you want, but Kawhi Leonard his entire career did load management. LeBron didn't. Kawhi did.
And look who's still playing. Look who's out.
But he got hurt. He's out.
Well, LeBron wasn't healthy either. I mean, LeBron had this was his most injury laden year, I think, of his career. He missed 35 games.
I give credence to his thought because of that, because he's never sat out, and then they won the championship. So they played the most games last year. And then to start it up right away, I give credence to him. The argument on the other side is that, because of that, Kawhi hurt. Well, they got eliminated early, and he's been load management since he's on San Antonio.
And I understand how load management is frustrating if you pay $150 to go to a game and you don't see you're the visiting team star player. But if it gives us better playoffs, I'm all for it. I'm all for superstars playing 58 games a year. And I mean, I think we probably all agree the regular season could be a lot shorter. I mean, we don't need 82 regular season
They should
games.
let the fans know and give discounted tickets.
That ain't happening.
I know it's not happening, but I'm just telling you, I don't think that is they always talk, it's all about the fans. And then when I had season tickets with the Heat and you bring someone there that's all excited to see the star player and they're just sitting out and you've paid the same amount of money, that's a problem. That's like going to a prize fight and the guy scratches. You're pretty pissed.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not going to watch any one player. I mean, unless that player is Michael Jordan or LeBron James.
Oh, well, that's you. I mean, that's you, not me. People I went to see Dwayne Wade. People went to see LeBron. People went to see I don't care. Pick a player. They go there to see those players. I mean, I want to go to. We're going to see the Kansas City and the Giants, right, with Tony Cash.
Oh man, I told you I'm not going out there in the cold.
We're gonna be in a hotel in a bar, man. Tough it up, man. Jesus, you're the fragile, most biggest guy. That's a 6'6", 300-pound spandex wearing guy that complains about the cold and lives in Philly.
No.
Now he complains about the heat. Oh, man.
No.
Come on, we're going to be in a hotel. We're going to be eating good steak. We're going to be with our buddy Tony.
No.
Come on, we're going to be in your Winnebago.
Nah, man. Nah. I'll be in there. You be outside. I'm not going outside.
All right, well, look, we're going to start wrapping this up. Look, Joe, and we'll get into some stuff. Next week, I'm going to focus, start promoting it. You promoted it. I'll listen to your show on what did you say?
valleyfreeradio.org.
Send it to message it to me.
Yeah,
will you?
yeah.
Okay, and then I'll make sure we're on it, and we're allowed to call in too.
No, we're an insular bunch right now. It's just three of us yelling at each other. Kind of like this was actually for the last hour.
Okay, great. So your show Saturday at 11. We want to repeat it again. Just tell us where our fans can hear it.
It's the sportsplusshow.com or valleyfreeradio.org Saturday morning, 11 o'clock Eastern.
And it's from Mass?
Out of Massachusetts, Springfield, Massachusetts, the birthplace of basketball.
Really? That's when they started with laces, right?
With James Naismith and the Peach Basket. It's where where the Basketball Hall of Fame is.
Yeah, they had laces on it. All right. Well, look, Joe, we always end our show with we would like our listeners to donate whatever they can to the Gary Sinise Foundation. So it's GarySinise.org. Freedom and security are precious gifts that we as Americans should never take for granted. We must do all we can to extend our hand to times of need to those who willingly sacrifice each day to provide that freedom, the security, and security. While we can never do enough to show our gratitude to our nation's defenders, we can always do a little more. Gary Sinise. So if you got a chance, GarySinise.org, please donate whatever you can. Any little helps. You could also follow us on Twitter at the Sportscast1. You could also visit our website at the Sportscast. Don't forget the Jersey Boys Sports Talk on podcast on iPhones and the Apple app. Join us next Wednesday at 8 p.m. We're going to have probably quite a few guests. We're going to dedicate the show to Dr. Vincent Capral, Joe's father, my head coach, a friend of Byron's and coach with Byron, a friend of many of my other coaches. So it's going to be a special show for us. We'll have some fun stories. So please join us again. And, Joe, I want to say thank you for spending the time. That 15 to 20 minutes went pretty quick. It went pretty good, quick. Good luck on your show. Hit me up with your information on your web design. Byron, what are you going to tell Tony about Kansas City? Man, Kansas City gets the Giants. How could you not want to be there? I want to go to every stadium I can, Durham. That's like on my live list.
I don't.
He's like this. He's like a Scrooge, man. He hates the winter. He hates the heat.
I got to be like in between.
Yeah. Hey, do me a favor. You got to show Joe your phone, man. You got your phone next.
Oh, he wasn't kidding about the flip phone, was he?
No, he's like Spock. Look at
wow.
Flip it for me. Do the flip. Yeah, you go. Do
amazing.
Boy.
You are one of two human beings I know that still uses the flip phone. That's amazing.
All right.
I just want to say thanks so much for having me on. I told you I could talk. So
did you have fun?
Oh yeah, loads of fun. You guys are great. This is
awesome.
This is just what I need.
Awesome. Well, God bless everybody. Stay safe. We got good living in crazy times. Also, real quick in Miami, if you guys saw that building, it's super sad. There's people I know that have lost family. I think I was going to buy a condo. I'm pretty sure I was buying a condo in that place like 20 years ago. It just it is so sad. Let's talk about first responders, Byron. When they're on the news here in Miami, those guys are crying.
Yeah.
They don't even know the chief. They didn't even know what to say. They found 2 kids today. Still 147 people missing. It's just imagine that just collapsed. It just fell down.
If you guys saw the security video, it looked like a demolition. It looked like they were demolishing the building. It was the most horrific thing I've ever seen.
So everybody pray out for those families. And, the sad part about those situations, there's people that could be alive for a few days and were buried and you couldn't get to them, man. That's the worst. So please send a little prayer out for those people. And gentlemen, God bless. And thank you again for a great show. Pretty excited. And we're excited for next week. Take care. And Jersey Boys Sports Talk, baby.
Sweet. Thanks, guys.
Peace.